Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today's video, it's another one in my ranking series. We've ranked my bronzers, we've ranked my blushes. We are here to rank highlighters this week, and next week we will rank my foundations. I do have 17 highlighters, both singles and in palettes, to rank with you and let you know my thoughts. If you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup. So if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the K Bella fam. But why don't we go ahead and start ranking some highlighters. Okay, so number 17, a highlighter that I do not enjoy and I would declutter if it was not a palette, but it is in this palette right here, the Disney House of Sillage, the highlighter in Joyful, and it's just not a shade for me. It is much too deep for me. It does have more of like a peachy rosy undertone. This could be much more of a blush topper for me. However, I don't really wear blush toppers. Like I wear a blush and a highlighter. And this just isn't the right shade for my skin tone. I feel like if someone had like a medium or deeper skin tone, they would really get a lot of use out of it, but I don't ever reach for that one because it doesn't match me well. Another highlighter that I feel similar about is by LYS Beauty. Super reflective, I apologize. This is in the shade Genuine. Now this is a beautiful rose gold shade. This one works for me more so than the Disney House of Sillage, but I feel like even though I can wear this one as a highlighter, it still feels like a shade or two too dark on me, and I almost feel like it looks streaky and I can kind of like see where the highlighter is. So again, I just feel like this one isn't the best one for my skin tone, but I didn't have a rose gold highlighter, which is why I purchased this one, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the formula. It's just the shade isn't the best for someone who is as pale as me. Coming in at number 15 is the Golden Nectar highlighter that I have in this Pat McGrath Blush and Glow Trio. That's this one right here. I do think you can get this one as a single. I find Pat's highlighters to be a little bit glittery. It doesn't look like chunky glitter when I look at it in the pan, but when I apply it on my face, I feel like I can see specks of glitter. And again, the only reason why this is one of the only reasons why it's higher up on the list is, again, I just feel like this is too dark for me. It's one of those, I can make it work, I can get away with it, but it's not my favorite because I feel like you can see it on my skin and the chunks of glitter. And I'm not into glitter. So I know a ton of people who love her highlighters. I'm just not the biggest fan. Number 14 is this highlighter by Nabla Cosmetics. This is in the shade Ozone. Now this one looks beautiful in the pan, but for some reason I just can't get it to look as nice on my skin. I feel like I really have to dig into it to apply it on the skin. This one shade-wise is fine. I can get it to match on my skin. I can get it to show up on my skin. It's just not a favorite. I feel like I have to go in a few times on my brush and apply it onto the cheeks. So I have to work with it a little bit more, and that's why it's higher up on the list. I don't have many drugstore options in my collection, but I do have this Milani Strobe Light in the shade 01 Afterglow. This one is more of a pinky highlight, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I think it looks fine on the skin. It's not one of my bam in your face highlights. It's a little bit more subtle. I really want the highlight to glow. Some people are more into a natural highlighter, and this might be up your alley if you are, but I still want to glow into space. So that's why this one is not a top favorite, but I don't think it's bad. Makeup Geek used to have highlighters. I don't know if she's gonna come back with them, but I still have one of my highlighters. This is a duochrome highlighter in the shade Lit, and I hold on to it because it is a duochrome. Sometimes it's green, sometimes it's gold, sometimes it's peach. I haven't reached for it in a really long time, but it's super unique in my collection, which is why I can't part with it. And when I did wear it a ton, I would always get compliments on the face. So because you can no longer get these and it's so unique, I'm gonna hold on to it, but it is a little bit older, so I probably shouldn't be using it. The other Pat McGrath highlighter that I have is this one in Lunar Nude. This is the one that has like the beautiful embossed packaging. Now again, when I wear this, I do find that I kind of get chunks of glitter. This shade matches me, but I feel like I can see the stripe on my face. However, the reason why this is lower down than Golden Nectar is because of how beautiful it is. Like, this literally is in the number 11 place for beauty. Like, it's stunning. This is the one that came out during the holiday collection, and I think it was like 60 something dollars, and then I got it for like 50% off. So I'm happy to have it in my collection for the looks, but I just don't reach for it a ton, in all honesty. Not a huge fan of her highlighters. Love her blushes. Watch my blush ranking. Love her blushes. Highlighters, not a top favorite for me. Number 10, we are reaching into my Jouer palette, and it is the shade Citrine. Tons of people raved about Citrine years ago. I didn't try it out until recently. This one, again, I do like the highlighter itself. I think the formula is great. I think the quality is great. I just would have preferred a little bit of a lighter shade. This one would be better for someone who's like a little bit deeper than me, but I can make it work. I like it because it is more of a beaming highlighter. It's just not my perfect shade. I need it a little bit lighter because I'm real pale. Now I did do a highlighter ranking video maybe like a year ago or something, maybe a little bit over a year ago, and my Ofra highlighters were at the top of the list there. There are some highlighters that have stolen their place. So in the number 9 spot is Pillow Talk. Now Pillow Talk is this one right here. It is the very light pink, and honestly, I do still like the Ofra quality. I feel like this highlighter has like that nice beaming quality. It really stands out. The shade works well for me. I just prefer more like champagne gold highlighters over pink highlighters, and this is a pink highlighter, so that's why it's a little bit lower. In the number 8 spot, it's a classic. I had to have it higher up because it is a classic, but at the same time, I don't really use it that much anymore, and it was an old favorite. It was an old favorite, Becca Champagne Pop. I hit pan on it. It was one of the only highlighters in my collection for the longest time, and I loved it. I used it all the time. I thought it was so amazing. But again, I still love the quality of Becca highlighters, but I just feel like the shade is a little bit deeper than I go for these days, although it is a beautiful highlighter. We are in the number 7 spot, so these are highlighters that I reach for often, that I really enjoy. I do have the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow. Now I have heard people say that they felt like this highlighter was too deep for them, and I don't find that. This one is more of a champagne shade. The Natasha Denona highlighters give you that boom, in your face, gorgeous. It's a little bit of a deeper champagne for me, which is why it's number 7 and not lower down in the ranking, but I do really love this highlighter and I still reach for it. I tried a few Becca highlighters in my time, and I found that out of the Becca highlighters, this little mini right here in Vanilla Quartz is my favorite. I liked it better than Opal. It's a little bit lighter than Opal, and again, that's because I really like a beaming, glowing highlight. Like, this one is going to stand out. Even on fair skin, if you want it to stand out, this one's going to stand out, and I really love that about these highlighters. I also tried out a highlighter mini from Jaclyn Cosmetics. This formula reminds me of the Becca highlighters. This is the mini in the shade Iced, and I do really enjoy this one. Again, nice beaming formula. You're gonna hear that repetitively as we get up lower in the rankings, but it's really good quality, no chunky glitter. It doesn't look streaky on the skin. It just blends in nicely, and it's a beautiful champagne shade. I'm pretty sure this was my old number 1. Now it's number 4, and that is Ofra Rodeo Drive. It was in my Project Pan last year. You can see I did hit pan on it. I do still really enjoy this highlighter. I think it's great. I think you can really see it on the skin. It blends in nicely. It's very pigmented, but I have 3 more highlighters that I prefer over this one now, and this one was my old favorite. For number 3, we're sticking in this palette. I realized after reaching into this palette a ton trying to pan this, that I really do like this Blissful shade. I thought that I didn't like it in the beginning, but I do really like this Blissful shade. It's a rose gold shade. It looks nice with a ton of looks. I'm very into like rose gold romantic looks right now, and I feel like that highlighter goes very well with like my Natasha Denona Retro, my Vive Muse. It just creates a nice rose gold highlight, and I'm into it. For the number 2 spot, it is a newer highlighter to me, and it is in this big bulky palette here, but it is the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. I never tried this before. When I saw this palette and I know I wanted Hoola and Dallas again, I thought, you know what, I can try my hands at Cookie, and I really do like it. I like that I have it in a palette instead of the boxed formula because I feel like it's easier to dip into since it's not so deep down set in there. But again, you can see it's lighter for my lighter complexion, which is going to make it stand out more, and no chunks of glitter, but it gives you a beaming glow. In the number 1 spot, it puts all of these other highlighters to shame. It's the highlighter I'm wearing right now. I love it because it blends into the skin. I feel like a vampire on Twilight, glowing from within, beaming highlight, but it looks like my skin. I have dry skin. I look healthy. I look glowing. It matches my complexion. It's everything I want it to be. It is the Natasha Denona Super Glow in the shade Fair. I love this highlighter. Smegs tried this highlighter. She had it first, and every time I would see her skin, she has very fair skin like me, every time I would see the highlight on her skin, I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. Every time. Natasha Denona Super Glow, Natasha Denona Super Glow, Natasha Denona Super Glow. So she ended up picking this up for my birthday for me a couple years ago, and I haven't looked back. I love it. It's the highlight I reach for on a day-to-day, a go-to. If you don't have light skin, the shade 01 Fair would be too light for you. But if you are still into a beaming highlight, but you want it to look like your skin, like I almost look oily. There's no chunky glitter. I just look healthy. My skin looks healthy. This makes my dry skin look healthy. I love it. Number 1, highly recommend. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Those are my 17 highlighters, my faves and not so faves. I need to wrap it up because my daughter just woke up. She's sitting in her crib. I am going to go get her and play with her. But I would love to know, what are your top 3 favorite highlighters? Do you have any of these? Do we share the same sentiments? Are you like, Kelly, you're crazy? The ones that you don't like, I love. The ones that you don't love, I like so much. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Bye.